Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today we're going to be making our groom for our bride. Now, this is my prototype and I'm going to do him a little bit differently. We're going to do a black band here instead of white, and we're going to have a bow tie on him. But I wanted to show you quickly what you're going to need to make him. We're going to use brown for his hair, and we're going to use Crafty Ladybug's technique of putting the hair at the back of the head as well. I'm going to use skin tone. I'm using the Rainbow Loom skin tone. I used the lightest one for the bride. I'm going to use the one that's a little bit darker for the groom. I'm using black and white. I'm using the same blue for his cummerbund here that I used in our bride's flowers. And as I said, black and white. Now, I was tossing up a variety of different ways to make him stand, and I know I made these standing up pants, but I found that they were just a little bit too bulky and they made him look like he was sort of wearing a diaper. So what I have done to make him stand is a trick that PG Lumacy used with his nativity scene, and that was to use a paper clip. So I've got a large paper clip and I unravelled it like this, and I set this bit up in the middle so that it's a stand, and then I poke these bits up his legs so that he's supported and can stand up. So you're going to need a large paper clip, and you're also going to need some beads, and I'm using the mini pony beads. They're a 7mm by 4mm for his eyes. We're also going to make him a little bit taller than our normal figures. If you have a look, I've got Hiccup here from How to Loom Your Dragon, and he is shorter, and the reason I'm doing him a bit taller is the dress on the bride is quite big, and it sort of elevates her a bit, so we obviously don't want our groom to be too incredibly short, to look like a page boy instead of a groom. So I'm giving him an extra set of bands in his waist and an extra set of bands in his legs to give him that added height. So let's get started. As I said, we're going to be using Crafty Ladybug's idea for the back of the hair, which I absolutely love. If you haven't subscribed to her, you are missing out. She's a fabulous loomer, brilliant designer. Please do so. Single loom, offset configuration, columns 1 and 3 are lower than column 2. The arrow is facing towards you, or the open part of the peg is facing towards you. We're double banding, which means you take 2 bands and you place them on the pegs together as if they were one. As I said, we're going to be doing Crafty's technique first. I will probably do this technique on all of my figures from now on. I absolutely love it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it, but I love it. So double banding. Go to the side here. Oopsie, to the side here. Push that down, take a single brown band and place that across these 3 pegs here as a crossover, and then we're going to take a single skin tone band and we're going to do an end cap here. So wrap it around your hook once and twice and pop that on here. Dig your hook down past the skin tone band and grab the brown band for the hair and loop up. Then we're going to take these 2 top bands and loop to one side, the other 2 to the other side, push them down, middle ones come up and up one more time, and then you stop. You do not do this one, and we don't do these here either. Dig down, loop up, and push everything down. Now we're going to lay the bands for our face. Again, double banding. Take 2 bands and place them on this peg here from here to here. So it's the center peg, but you're skipping that first portion because that's his hair and you don't need skin tone bands on his hair. push down. I'm going to use 2 bands for his neck because he's already got that one behind it. Take a single band, stretch it out, and this is a crossover band for his face. Take another single band and you're going to twist it 3 times. Once, twice, and 3 times. That goes here across his eyes, and that's going to stop the eyes from falling into the back of his face when we put them in. I'm using my hook. I have a 2.75 crochet dude hook which fits these mini beads down very nicely, but if you don't, you can use a metal threader. I have a tutorial on how to make a metal threader from a twisty tie, or you can use floss, any other way you prefer. You don't have to use beads, you can use bands. You take a single band and you wrap it around your hook once, twice, 3 times and 4 times. That equates to 1 bead of an eye. So you do that twice, and then you do exactly the same as what I'm about to do now. You put your flesh tone band on the end of your hook and you slide your beads or your bands on, and then we're going to stretch that over these 2 pegs here. Make sure the eyes are approximated how you want them, either side of the face, and lift this little bit up and place it above that peg. That now acts as a crossover band for the face. Now before we move forward, we're going to split these up. As you can see, you've got your bottom flesh tone bands here and the top 2 here. We're going to take these bottom 2 and put your hook through it, and you're going to lift it over these 2 that were at the top. Okay, that has basically locked the hair in at the neck, and then the other place that we lock it in is here at the eyes. So now we can lay our figure as we would normally. So let's take 2 black bands and do his shoulders. As I said, we're going to come down an extra length. Normally we would come down 4, we're going to come down 5. So 2, 3, 4 and 5. Same this side. 2, 3, 4 and 5. For the middle, we're doing white for his shirt. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I'm going to do a pair of black and another pair of black, and then we're going to start his trousers here. So we've only got 3 here for his trousers, but that's okay. We can add extensions for his trousers. 2, 3, 'Get a couple more black bands ready. We're going to put 2 from here to here, 2 from here to here, and we're going to put an end cap in black here. So take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and pop that on this peg here. Now, the other thing we're going to do is take a single of the blue band that we used for her bouquet and place that there on top of that black pair here. We're going to do crossover bands. I'm just going to use a single band and stretch it across. He doesn't need to have a defined waist or muscles or anything like that. He's just got to be held together. So we place a single all the way up there. Let's do his arms and his hands. So take a single, wrap it once and twice, and slide onto a pair. Now, because we've made his legs and arms a bit longer, his torso and his legs a bit longer, I'm also going to make his arms a bit longer, otherwise he'll look a bit funny. So whereas normally we would do 5 pair for his arms, this being number 1, we're going to do 6. So this is number 1, this pair of black is number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and let's pop that on his shoulder here and do the same for the other side. I'm going to turn my loom around, wrap the single once and twice, and we slide onto a pair and reclaim, and then we're going to do 5 pair of black. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and pop that on his shoulder here. Okay, now we're going to do his shoes and the extra length for his trousers. So shoes we'll just do as normal. You're going to take a pair of black, wrap them once and twice, and slide onto a pair of black. Reclaim the end, get another pair of black and wrap once and twice. Now, the first set that you made, you're going to take the 2 bands furthest away from you and move them over the top of those wrapped bands so it looks like that. And then take a pair of bands, black, you're going to move the first 2 loops over, then you're going to move the wrapped band over, and this is so that they don't get tangled up together, and then the last 2 there. Now, we normally have 4 pair for the trousers, and we're doing 5 to give him extra length, but we've only got 3 here, so we need to do another pair for 4 and another pair for 5. Reclaim the end, angle your foot, and that's going to go at the end of his trousers here, like that. So see how you've done that little extension? Let's do the same for the other side. A pair, wrap once and twice, slide onto a pair and reclaim. Now we're going to do our wrapped band, a bit of wrapping. Wrap once and twice, move these 2 loops over so that it's in between. Take a pair and slide your first 2 loops over, then the wrapped band, and then the other 2, and now we add 2 more pair. So here's our first extra pair, and here is a broken band. Is our second extra pair. Angle the foot, and that will pop on the end of this leg. So let's see, we have feet, end cap, crossover bands, cummerbund, arms, eyes. We're ready to loop up. Dig down and you're going to find those 2 bottom black bands. I just found one then. Let's see if I can find the other. There he is. Grab that and loop up. Now, because the trousers and the suit are all in the same, I'm going to go down past that end cap and grab those 2 top bands first and loop in, and the same on this side, because I want the continuity of the trousers. And loop up. Now we can loop the trousers up. loop these black bands up, and likewise we'll do these ones. Now at this point you want the cummerbund to come down, so you see you've got the two top black bands here, and then underneath you've got another pair of black bands. You're going to go under those bottom two black bands and put your hook under the blue bands and pull them around to the back side of this peg and pull forward like that, and then we can loop that in, tie that in by moving the white band forward. Loop up to the arms, and then I like to loop the arms in so that I know that I'm not forgetting them. So I loop those in, and then I'm going to come back here and do the shirt front. Also I want these two white bands at the top to be on top of the two shoulder black bands. Then we're going to dig down and find the two skin tone and loop those up. Now for the face, we only want to get the skin tone bands. So dig your hook in and find the top two skin tone on either side and loop those to the corresponding side. Here we only want these two, but you've got another two down there as well, so be careful that you don't grab these two that make up the neck. Okay, again you're just going for the skin tone, and here you're just going for the two skin tone. I've got more than I bargained for there. I've got a brown band, there we go, just the two top skin tone. Now we can dig down and grab those two brown bands, and we're going to use two brown bands to tie off with. Push your hook through this center pin and grab the two brown bands on the end of your hook and pull them through to the back side of that peg like that. Then take the two closest to you up, over and off, and pull tight. Now this is where we're going to do his bow tie, but we'll do that after the fact. Let's take him off our loom. I use the back of a hook so that I don't have any band breakage. Stretch his hair out a bit. Poke his eyes forward so he doesn't look like he's got eyes in the back of his head. And let's tuck these tie-off loops behind his hair. So pull those through and they can go through again. Like that, and they can sit sort of like a little hollow space at the back here, so they can just sit in that hollow space. They're not going to go anywhere or do anything. You can just hide them back there like that. Here's our little dude. We need a bow tie, so I'm going to use a single one of these bands. It's the sweet band that I used for her flowers. I'm going to poke him through his neck, drag it forward like that, and I just tie a knot with the initial one that I put through. Like that. And it does settle down. After a while, they sort of, the bands relax a bit, and you won't find that it looks like it's sticking up to his chin. There we go. For his legs, we've got our paperclip, and we've stretched it out so it's no longer paperclip shaped. And you want to have this loop at the back here, and then these two spokes going up. Now please, if you're a child, be very, very careful. These are quite sharp, and I wouldn't suggest that if you're going to be playing with this figure that you use this all the time. This is for if you're wanting it to stand up, you know, in a I don't know, in a display case or next to the bride or something like that. But if you're playing with them, don't have this metal, because this is dangerous and it could poke somebody in the eye. So please use your judgment with this. And don't use it for playing. This is only if he's going to be standing up in a display case, or, you know, on top of a wedding cake or something like that. You know, what you're going to do is you want this metal, these two metal spokes, to go up the center of his leg. So poke it through the sole of his foot. Poke one side through the sole of his foot. Now PG Lumacy did this for his nativity scene to make everything in that stand up. It's a brilliant idea. You want to make sure as you're sliding this up that your end of your paperclip is not poking through his body and looking like he's been impaled, even though he is being impaled. So try and hide that paperclip through the center of these bands. And see this one, I've got it coming out. I'm going to stick that in his body, make his feet go to the end. You can make his legs go a bit closer together. There we go. Poke that so that it's going through his body but is not sticking out. You don't want it sticking out where it could hurt somebody. Okay. And there, that is how we would make him stand up next to his bride. I really hope you enjoy making him. As I said, please, I cannot stress enough, this is dangerous, and it has sharp little points on the end. If you're playing with your bride and groom, please take that out. Give it to a parent or something like that. You don't want to be hurting yourself. Alright, so there we go. There's our bride and groom. As I said, I hope you enjoy making it, and I look forward to seeing yours. Take care.